Get a couple people in here. I don't see anybody in the chat just yet. Let me pull it up on my phone so I can make sure that the chats are. All right. I don't usually go live on Thursdays. I used to do. I had a channel that got hacked from me, and I used to do tea party interviews like this with different artists or different members of the platforms, whether it be YouTube or Twitch or anything, just to bring them on and talk. So I don't usually go live on Thursdays, so this might be a big change for everybody. I kind of tried to let people know that it was going to be happening, but sometimes messages get mixed up.
Yeah, man, no worries.
All right. We got one person here. They haven't said hi in the chat yet, so I don't know who they are. But if you would, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, man, my name is Caleb. I go by Caleb Wildcard. I make music, and I'm from Portland, Oregon, the Northwest here. And I've just been plugging away, man, making music, trying to produce content, and growing that way. Other than that, man, it's really like, I mean, if you want to get to know me, like the music is the best way. I don't have many other hobbies. I don't play sports. I don't do much. Although I'm going to the gym after this.
Okay.
This it's not a habit that I have formed yet, but I'm doing it.
Right, you're working on it.
Yeah, no, I mean it's pretty much music is life for me. Yeah.
All right.
Breathe, sleep, and eat music.
That's fair enough. I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm kind of in a situation where YouTube's kind of like my only source of way of supporting my family. So I wake up and it's try to set up interviews, try to make plans for live streams, all that good stuff. So I'm right there with you. Like I don't have any outdoor hobbies. It's just I wake up and I jump on a computer.
Nice.
What's up, Boston? He says, "Hi, Caleb. Nice to meet you." So, yeah, I have checked out some of your music. Usually, you put that in the private chat, not the
wrong one.
Regular comments. I have checked out some of your music. I know Andrea's come in and requested it. I know that we've listened to Black Keys Matter, Black Keys Matter. We've listened to that one a couple times in live streams, and I was like, wow, this is really good. This is like, I like the music because it sounds authentic and it really has a message behind it. And one of the things with my channel is I'm very upfront and honest with artists that I do reactions to. Like, I'm not going to just straight up be like, oh, your stuff's garbage. Because one, you don't learn from that. Like if I were to have someone review my channel and be like, oh, what do you think about my reaction channel? And they come back with me with, it's trash.
Right.
All right, cool. Like, why? But like, I'm not a professional in any standards. I don't mix music. I don't make music or anything like that. I'm just the average Joe. And the way I look at it is 90% or 95% of the people that are listening to your music, they're not going to be the studio engineers. They're not going to have, a bachelor's in music production. They're not going to do it themselves or have a big record label. They're going to be the average person. So basically my channel is the average person just giving an honest review and feedback on it.
Yeah.
And your music is definitely, I checked out a couple more songs that I hadn't heard today, and it's kind of all over the place because you have different styles and you have different approaches to your music. And even in the one song that I checked out, it's like, I don't do rap, I just do music. Like,
I'm not a rapper, so I don't pretend to be. I'm just a master of musical energy.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's like really where the name Wildcard kind of comes from. It's just different genres of music. I like all music. I like every genre of music, and I don't want to just be in one, genre or one box. It get way too boring for me. If every song was a rap song or if every song was an acoustic song, I would get bored of the music. So it's kind of just my way of keeping it interesting. You know what I mean?
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. Even
Rock
if I'm
on.
not good or proficient in a style of music, I still gonna make an attempt at it. You know what I mean?
Hey,
It's like,
that's the only way to get better. Like
yeah,
everybody that does something for the first time, they're not going to be, amazing at it. It takes work and it takes practice. Like, some of the greats that we've had, Eminem, Tupac, Biggie, like their first song that they ever wrote, I'm sure it wasn't something that you'd hear on the radio.
right.
Rock
Definitely.
on. Rock on says, welcome, Caleb. Odd Tom says, sup, peeps. Caleb, nice to see you again. Melrose's roommate. I seen that you were on
What's up,
Melrose's
y'all?
channel last week.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch it, and I was like, no, we've got an interview next week, so I don't want to spoil anything. I don't know much about the guy, and I don't want to sit here and get all my answers now. I want to be able to still ask him questions,
Yeah.
kind of get to know him.
Definitely. Yeah. No, it was a lot of fun doing that interview. This is actually the third podcast. I don't know if this would be called a podcast or what this is, live stream interview I've done in the last week or so. So it's been a busy week and just a lot of conversations. And yeah, man, I have fun every time.
That's dope. I mean, like I said before we got started, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to sit down and talk with us, especially like I know I haven't had any recorded reactions to you, but I have checked you out on the live streams when we do music requests. Andrea comes in and she has a slew of different artists that she likes to promote out there. And you came
Yeah.
up one day and I was like, I've never heard this dude. And then it was Black Keys Matter. And I was like, damn, this dude's really putting out a message. And
Yeah.
it just blows my mind because that's one of the things I look for is I want the music to make me feel something. I don't want
Some kind of
this,
substance, something, you know.
yeah, not like the 6 9s or the Island Boys or whatever the fuck they're called. It's just like I want to be able to understand. I want to be able to have your song make me feel something. That's the purpose of all music is to
Definitely.
put out a message. Got up in my office, realized I didn't have a keyboard, so on 2 screens, one for the keys. All right, B Matt, welcome to the stream. How you doing? So
For some reason, it's not letting me comment on anybody's or on this like live stream comment feed. But to everybody saying what's up to everybody. Thank you guys for all being here. Glad you can make it. You're probably wondering why I called you to this meeting. We're gonna get right into it. I don't know why it's not letting me comment.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's all right though.
So how I was checking out your channel a little bit earlier just to kind of get a little bit more versed with you. I seen that your last or your oldest video on your channel is like a year old. So how long have you been doing music?
I've been doing music forever. I've been taking music seriously for 10 years or so, but I've been really taking music seriously probably for about 3 years. I've been
Okay.
pretending to take music seriously for 10 years. There's a lot of growing pains and getting through, just difficult times and persevering through times that I think a lot of artists don't make it past that point. They'll try for a few years. I think I got past that point of the real grind. I mean, it's always going to be a grind. It's still a grind, but I'm getting to a point now where it's getting more flowy to just get content produced and put out.
Right.
I have been stagnant for a couple months, not really stagnant in the back end. Like I'm doing tons of work, but just in terms of putting things out, it's been a minute. However, I do have a stockpile of content that's about ready to drop here in the next week, 2 weeks.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because like I said, I noticed that you had been on there on YouTube. Like the videos had been on there for about a year. I checked out a couple different ones. There was a Swish that I checked out, and then just passing by, and just passing by,
passing through.
or yeah, just passing through. I was like, damn, dude. Like, not many songs give me goosebumps, but that one it hit me, and I was just like, ah,
Yeah, bro.
okay,
Thanks.
I can rock with this. And
That's
then
definitely one of my favorites. One of my
yeah,
favorite tracks that's released at least right now.
Yeah, at the end you gave the in remembrance shout out to your grandfather. And I think
Yeah.
that's the part that hit me the most is because I lost my dad back when I was 17. And I could feel the connection that you had with your grandfather throughout the song. And
Yeah.
then it just reminded me of like growing up and being with my dad and everything. And then it's just like, damn, I wish I could do something like this for my dad.
Yeah, it's a cool piece, man. It definitely is something that is more close to my heart in terms of music. I mean, it's all kind of close to my heart. There's personal experiences that I connect to everything, but that's definitely one of the more emotionally driven songs. I'd say for sure.
What's up, Andrea?
What's up, Andrea?
I was gonna say, with how hard you worked for this interview, if you didn't show up, I'd have some words with you on Twitter afterwards. So what is your like writing style like? Do you hear a beat and it speaks to you, or do you just randomly have bars going through your head and you're like, oh, I gotta write this down, and then you try to fit it into a beat?
I think that just goes right back to the wild card thing, man. It's so different. Each song has almost a different writing style. I don't have a system. There's no structure to it, really. It's just kind
Wow.
of um, random spurts of inspiration, and that inspiration can come from anywhere. It can come from a beat, most definitely. Sometimes it does come from a beat. A lot of times it just comes from me sitting at a guitar or sitting at a piano and just playing for a while and until something strikes. Sometimes it'll just be complete random out of nowhere with no music involved and just a random thought pops in my head and that's going to be a song. So I would say it really just depends, and there's really no rhyme or reason to it. It just kind of comes when it
Okay.
comes. Um, like I said, there's no consistent method or structure. It's just really whatever I'm feeling in a particular moment can be a cause of a song. It's really weird.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I was like, what did you or what brought upon your name? But you've already explained that to where it's just like basically in the music industry, you're a jack of all trades. Like you dabble in a little bit of everything, and it's kind of fitting that you put that with your writing style too. It's like, okay, well, oh, I like this beat, I'm gonna write to it, or you're just going down the road and
Well, because
yeah,
there's no possible way that I can have a song like Swish and then the next day write a song like Passing Through and utilize the same formula. They're completely
right,
different. You know what I mean? Like they're just so in different lanes that they wouldn't even work. I couldn't sit down and
yeah,
try to write the song the same way that I wrote, the previous song.
yeah,
It
because
just doesn't work.
Swish was more of like a flex song, just kind of I'm out here having fun. I'm gonna flex, like
I
yeah, I'm
like
out
the
here
flex
doing
music
it.
too. It's fun. It's definitely it's definitely part of the hip hop culture. I mean, everyone likes to flex a little bit here and there. I definitely don't want to be known as like the heavy brag rapping artist.
Right,
But I want people to know that I can do it if I
right,
want to. You know what I mean? Like it's in my bag of tricks, but it's not the main act.
right. Of course, I'd show up. I had to step out to eat. Very terrible time because I don't like stepping away from interviews. It's okay, Andrea. We understand. What's up, Sped? Wildcard is sick. Jumping topic for art, though, because it brings out the Remy LeBeau. You confuse me sometimes, be mad, but we still love you.
Be mad.
Unless that comment wasn't for me and it was for Wildcard, because I have no idea what the hell you're talking about, my guy.
I don't either, but I love it. I love it. It's up for interpretation. Your
And that,
sentence is wild card art, bro.
there you go. Yeah, and like that's one of the biggest things I think people are still misunderstanding about music is music's put out there for interpretation. Like even if you're putting out a direct message, I could listen to a song and Boston Bad Boy could listen to a song and Andrea and Sped could listen to the same song, and we're all going to take different aspects from it because we've all gone through different experiences.
Yeah,
Certain words that are put together, it may affect me differently than it affects Andrea or Boston or Sped. And I think that's where a lot of the misconception comes in with music. Um, is that people are like, oh, well, everything needs to be structured, everything needs to be point A to point B. No,
Right.
everything doesn't need to be like, there's no rules, there's no guidelines. If you want to put out, an 18-minute freestyle rap, you can put out an 18-minute freestyle rap. Best of luck to you. I, hope you have an extra set of lungs to use as backup, but
Right.
there's no rules. There's no, and people just get so uptight anymore.
Yeah, I definitely think, especially in 2022, like the boundaries and the walls from music have been completely broken down. I mean, there's no such thing as genres really even anymore. You got rappers and country artists collabing together. You got
Yeah.
rappers attempting country. You got country artists attempting rap. You got it's like there is no such thing as genres. It's all music, and it's all definitely, like you said, up for interpretation. I think there's a million different ways to decipher a song, and I think that's the beautiful part about it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that's
When it
kind
gets
of
back to the roots of music, I mean, like if you think about Mozart or Beethoven, back in those days, there was no words over the music. It was just music. Like, I mean, there's a million different ways you can interpret fucking Fur Elise. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
what are these songs? What do they even mean? They meant something to the person that composed the music, but what do they mean? You know what I mean? Back then, I think people were really putting their own stories behind the music, and I think that people still are doing that today, even though they're already, there's words put over the music by the artist. I think people are still putting their own words to it as well, or their own feelings attached to it.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And like I mean, it's up for interpretation. Everybody's going to take it a different way. Like, um, you had your song. I know I keep referring back to it, but it's the one I've listened to the most. But Black Keys Matter. Like,
Yeah.
there's so much stuff that you talk about in there to where so many people can be affected by this one song.
Well, I intentionally made that song confusing. That song is supposed to be, interpreted however you want to interpret it. Just the term Black Keys Matter in and of itself, like I think people's minds are automatically going to something political, but the
Right.
song is not political whatsoever.
No.
It's 100% personal experience based lyrics. The whole song's about me, in a nutshell, but also about the world, also about, but it's not anything to do with Black Lives Matter or any kind of political movement or anything else. However, the words are so vague to where there's a lot of people that listen to that song and they feel like it's speaking to them on a political level. Um,
Right.
it
And that was never
definitely
your intention.
exactly.
Yeah.
But
It's
my
like, oh, well,
intention
this is
was
about this.
the intention was definitely to make people feel whatever they want to feel over it, though.
Right.
You know,
I think it was more like, to me, it stopped and made me think. So it's one of those songs to where, like I said, you were kind of all over the place, but you were touching on different topics. So it really stopped and made me think. And I was like, he's saying a whole lot without really blatantly saying anything.
yeah, yeah. I love
Like,
that. That is the point.
it's like you're just painting in the background, watching these people go by, and people walk up close to it and they see the little picture. But if someone steps back, they can see the masterpiece that you're working on. And it's just like, damn, dude.
Well, then I can't be held responsible for anything either. I don't want people to
Right.
hear a song and be like, mad at me because I said something that didn't line up with what they feel. You know what I mean? Like it's so broad that anyone can listen to it and find something and like it. You know what I mean? But like,
Exactly.
I'm not saying anything. Like you said, there's no specific point. The point is just to think about it. The
Yeah.
point, the point is whatever you want it to be. Really, everyone's right. Everyone's wrong. Literally, that's what it means. Like you're right. Whatever you think about the song, you're right about it,
Right.
but you're also wrong. Like everyone is right, everyone is wrong at the same time.
Hmm.
Um, and that's kind of the point, I guess.
What's up, Cherokee? I see you in here. So, you said you have a bunch of music ready to start dropping in the next week or so. I guess my next question for you would be, who is an artist that not only inspires you, but you would like to work with in the future?
I got such a long list for this answer, but I'll keep it narrowed down to, I guess, like two of them. I want to work with Ryan Carveo. He's a Seattle artist. He's kind of started off as a hip hop artist, and he's kind of blended into like pop music now.
Okay.
But he's a really good artist. But if we're talking like bucket list, I'd have to say Kanye. Kanye is someone I wanna work with. I don't know how obtainable that is with him getting older every day and me being, fairly close to the beginning of my journey. However, that would be a pretty dope collab, and just someone that I would like to pick his brain on a musical level. So I think that he's probably my favorite producer of all time. So I would say that he's someone that I definitely want to work with.
Okay, that's fair enough. Honestly, you're probably the first person that I've ever interviewed that's thrown out Kanye. But I mean, there's been a lot of controversy around him. Obviously, if you're married to a Kardashian, you got cameras in your face all the time. Like
Right.
your life's an open book at that point because not only are you famous, but your family's famous. It's a giant mess. But people tend to overlook how brilliant this man is in the music industry.
Oh, definitely. I mean, he's in arguably top three best super producers of all time. I mean that can be debated for weeks, and it has been, and it is currently. But in my book, I would say he's in top three for sure. Um, as a rapper and a lyricist and a poet, he's amazing as well. I mean, he really knows how to. He might not know how to speak very well, but he knows how to get his message across in his poetry, which is awesome. But just the fact that he created an entire new lane, which all the new artists after him followed, is pretty amazing. I mean, he changed the course of hip hop forever.
Oh yeah, and it's so weird how when I go back to my younger years when all these artists were just coming out and everything. It's like you watch something that they're doing. It's like, is that the right move? And then you fast forward 10 years and everybody's following the moves that they did. It's like, well, you took a giant risk there and it paid off well for you.
Yes. Hold on, sorry, bro. I'm shooting a quick text right now, and I normally wouldn't do this in the middle of a live stream, but I did forget that I had to send this text. Give me
No, you're
one
good.
second.
You're good,
Um,
man. As a matter of fact, while you're doing that, if you don't mind, I'll throw up Black Keys Matter and let everybody in the chat that may have not have heard of you hear one of your songs.
oh, dude, do passing through.
Oh, just passing through.
You could do Black Keys Matter. I love that everyone's on Black Keys Matter, but it's a song that I'm tired of. I don't know.
I
As
can
an artist,
understand
you have
that.
those songs, you know what I mean? But I mean, I still got to appreciate it for what it is, and I obviously wrote it, so I like it. But if you're gonna show people something for the first time, show them passing through for sure.
All right, yeah, we'll check this out. We'll go ahead and let you get that message sent out. And this is Caleb Wildcard passing through. Let them know what you think when this song ends, guys.
If I could fly away, I'd go anywhere but here. And the saddest of songs makes the sweetest of melodies. So wipe away your tears. And I'm only a man, but I'll do what I can do. Even though we're all just passing through, passing through, passing through. My grandpa sang it for me when I was only 2. So tell the people we're passing through, it's It's been a long year, month, week, day, summer, winter. I'm still hungry after eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I came to finish the rap game, but I diminished my own name. Drown reality with strippers and cocaine, whippets and flonase. I'm afflicted with slow pain. I'm addicted to more things than codeine and morphine. I'm a fiend for the fruits on the dark side of the feast, but I dream of the truth and apartheid from the beast. Yeah, I'm saying, hey man, but I can't even be man. It's hard to grow up when you're living life for the weekend. My whole life's a weekend. Wait, when did the weekend? My judgment weekends when I'm swimming in the deep end. Plus I sleep in and I drink gin. Then I speak sin here to them demons, but then them same demons fell to their east when God taught me the difference between spirits and diseases. Now I ain't confused when what I'm hearing isn't me. I'm fearless when I preach, write these lyrics in my sleep. So at the end of the day, I'm okay. It's only the beginning, write the song, fly away. If I could fly away, I'd go anywhere but here. And the saddest of songs makes the sweetest of melodies. So wipe away your tears. And I'm only a man, but I'll do what I can do. Even though we're all just passing through. Passing through. My grandpa sang it for me when I was only 2. So tell the people who are passing through. Second verse, second shot of redemption, but I'll probably get the knife out the way that I'm living. So if I had $1 for every bridge I burn, it's silver in the mouth to every lesson that I've learned. So I'ma go through it, I'ma see to it. Blessing and a curse, I swear that I bleed music. My head's in outer space, there's no air, I breathe music. And every time I write a song, your girlfriend sings to it. But this ain't that song, so we'll save that for a new track. This song is about the struggle I've been trying to get your groove back. This song's about breakups and makeup sex. This song's about pay stubs and playtex pads. This song's about having a balance, always keeping your swagger, even when the world's against you, when your back is full of daggers. This song's about not asking what's the matter, cause you already know. This song's about climbing the ladder and row in your boat. This song's about never missing a no. This song's about having hope at the end of your rope. So if I could fly away, I'd go anywhere but here. And the saddest of songs makes the sweetest of melodies. So wipe away your tears. And I'm only a man, but I'll do what I can do. Even though we're all just passing through. Passing through. My grandpa sang it for me when I was only 2. So tell the people who are passing through.
God bless you, Grandpa Beaver. We miss you. I love you. We're just passing through. Rest in peace.
Man, that ending gets me every time. That ending gets me.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I'm really glad we threw that in there too. That was kind of a last minute decision to put that in there, and I'm really stoked that we did that. It makes the whole rest of the video just kind of hit a little harder.
Yeah, because honestly, that's all we're doing on this earth is we're just passing through. We get a very limited amount of time here, and the time is the only thing you can't get back. I mean, you can buy and sell possessions, you can buy and sell anything, but like the one thing that you have that's valuable is your time, and once you give that away, you don't get that back. And
right,
I songs like this tend to make me think probably deeper about them than I should, but it's not always a bad thing because it's like, it gives you that whole broad spectrum of what is life. And
right.
I'm sure when we're writing passing through, you're like, I don't think anybody's gonna, listen to this and be like, "What is the meaning of life?" But it hits people differently, and people take it different ways, and it's an amazing message.
Yeah.
Because you're like, the song's about this. No, it's about this. No, it's about this. No, it's about passing through, and I'm just a simple guy trying to
Yeah.
get through everything. I'm just trying to get through my day-to-day life and do something with my music, take care of my family, and that's all I'm trying to do.
Right.
All right, so we got Cherokee and Boston in the chat saying they just subbed to you. I have your link in the description box.
Thank you, guys. All the subs. I want subs. I'm hungry for them. Feed me more subscribers. I appreciate it to the ends of the earth.
Yeah, YouTube's funny, man. Like, is YouTube your main platform, or do you...
Like the main platform that I use to communicate with fans, and that I actually have like a solid group of people that are really rocking with me, is on Facebook. I'm trying to pump up Instagram a little bit. I don't have nearly the engagement on Instagram that I have on Facebook, not even close. But YouTube is where I'm trying to funnel everybody. That's where I want my subscribers. This is Zach. He's here. Hey, bro, can I take a 2-second intermission?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just got my video guy is here, and he's picking up some footage. Hey, come say what's up to the podcast chat. We're on the live stream.
Special appearance. How's it going?
This is Zach Olson. He's going to start doing some more videos and projects with us that we're working on in the future. He recently actually just edited the video that we got coming out with Echo. We have a song and video with Echo dropping in the next week or so. He came in and helped out and fucking chopped it up. And we're working on some other projects here too.
All right.
Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah. Just give me about 30 seconds here, maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah, not a problem. Take your time.
Sorry, bro.
No, you're good. Take your time. We get the puppy. Caleb turned into a dog. I don't mean that in a negative way. Jesus. Shut up, Hatter. Guys in chat, if you guys have any questions you want to ask Caleb, feel free to ask your questions in the chat.
I'll get you a demo. All right.
I tried to text her about it sometimes.
Yeah, she's text that, so I'll see if I can get to that. She usually sends like
artists that play guitar.
So you're
I seen your guitar comment, so that triggered a couple.
Thank you, man. Yes, sir. All right, sorry about that, guys.
You're good, man.
I had to get some footage off to him on a little flash drive.
That's completely understandable. One question that I did come up with is, in a couple of different videos, I've seen you play guitar and I've seen you play the piano. Is there any other instruments that you play or that you're fluent on?
Yeah, I mean, I play the bass guitar, which anyone that plays the guitar plays the bass, really. But I like playing the bass. I play the drums lightly. I mean, I don't play drums for any projects or any bands or anything like that. But I can get on the drum and keep a beat. Okay. I played clarinet for a long time. Really, any instrument I can pick up and fake my way through. I mean, pretty much any instrument. Once I figure out how to make a sound out of an instrument, my brain will figure out how to like produce the notes. So I mean, I've dabbled in just about everything: saxophone, violin, a little bit of like different stringed instruments, different brass instruments, different woodwind instruments. I would say though that really fluent is probably just guitar, piano, and bass and drums. If we're talking like where my comfort zone is,
All right, nothing wrong with that. So are you more of the type to where you like read sheet music, or do you just kind of like go with the flow and make your own beats?
Once upon a time, yeah. I mean, like I learned sheet music back in the day, and I just had never used it. I mean, there's technical musicians and there's emotional musicians. I guess I'm more on the emotional side, where I just feel out what things are. I mean, notes are something that I just don't care to get extensive knowledge on anymore. Chords, I like understanding chords. It makes it a little easier, especially for learning cover songs and things like that.
Right.
Um, just having the basic understanding of what the chords are, the roots, and things like that. But in terms of like sheet music and playing things note for note, I'm not a huge fan of. It starts feeling a lot more like math than music at that point, where I'm doing more counting, I'm doing more numbers, and it's just more precise and more technical. And I'd rather just kind of flow and just play what feels right.
That is a very interesting way of looking at it. I've never looked at it as, sheet music is math, but you're absolutely right because you're like, okay, well, we got we got this many notes that we got to play, and then there's these steps down, step ups, and
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and it's like,
yeah,
yeah, I can do it. I mean, there was a time in my life where I did it, especially in the beginning when I was learning different instruments. I definitely started like most people with a traditional, layout of music and how it works and things like that, just basic understanding of music theory. However, when I started to dabble into writing my own music, I felt like I didn't really resonate with the by the book way of making music.
fair enough. Cherokee asks, are there any drummers that you admire the most? My personal favorite is Rick Allen of Def Leppard.
I like Joey Eppard from Coheed and Cambria. I don't know too many drummers by name, to be honest. Also, I'm not a huge fan of rock music, although I do like some rock, and there's definitely like songs that I love, and there's definitely bands that I love. However, my musical taste leans more towards pop music and hip hop. So the majority of the artists that I listen to don't really have drummers. Um, so I don't know. Probably, I mean, Joey Eppert from Coheed and Cambria. As far as famous drummers go, I mean, I don't have one that I'm like stoked about or that I admire more than another.
Okay.
Drummers all sound the same to me for some reason. I don't know if that's a bad thing. It's drums. I mean, like I don't know. I haven't ever really listened to a band where like the drumming just stands out to me, and I'm like, damn, that drummer is hella good. I'm more of a lyric person, melody person, so guitar can definitely stand out to me. There's a cool melody or something technical that's I've never heard before. But drums have never really been something that's just stood out to me musically. It's always kind of been just a background thing to keep the beat. I do understand there's lots of artists that love drums though, and that the drums are on the forefront when they listen to music. Some of my friends, like, they listen to music, and I have a buddy that doesn't even hear lyrics. He literally will listen to a song, and at the end of the song, he won't have any clue what the lyrics say at all. Nothing, not a single one. But he'll remember the drums. He'll remember the beat. Like, that beat was sick, and some people just listen to music for that.
Right.
I'm one of the people that I'm definitely listening to lyrics before anything else, and melodies second. So drums are kind of always just a background thing, more of like a tool to keep the beat throughout the song, not really something I ever considered artistic necessarily, but it is. I just don't recognize it as it is, but
Okay. What's up, Jason?
opinions.
Boston wants to know, who influenced you to want to be an artist?
Elton John, Kanye West. Those are my two biggest influences for music. I mean, Elton John came first. I played the piano before I played any other instrument. He was, if you play piano as a kid, you got a couple choices. Your piano teacher gives you a couple different choices of who you can be like. It's either Mozart or it's, Elton John or Billy Joel. Those are kind of, you play music as a 10-year-old kid, you're playing piano, you're in lessons. Your music teacher is going to show you Elton John or, Billy Joel or something classical. I was shown all three of those and kind of gravitated towards Elton John just because I like the way that he's got a soulful voice. He had soulful lyrics. I know he didn't write his lyrics, but I just love the lyrics. And there was a lot of just soulful intention and just natural soul in his voice that I liked. I kind of consider Elton John almost as like the 70s version of Justin Timberlake in a way. So that was probably my first musical influence that really made me want to start writing music. And to this day, I'm still a huge Elton John fan. That never went away. And it wasn't that much after the Elton John phase that Kanye really caught my attention, and I started to kind of get into. And again, it's the soul. Kanye's got the soul. That's the style that I like. That's where my soul gravitates to, is that kind of gospel-y sound. And Elton John had a lot of gospel sound, in the 70s, and so does Kanye. So I'd say those are my two biggest influences. They're pretty polarizing on the opposite sides of the spectrum musically, but they're also very similar. But truly, every artist that I listen to in between those two artists have influenced me as well. There's not an artist that I listen to that I can say hasn't influenced me in some way, shape, or form.
Ricky Allen is a one-armed drummer. Just putting that out there.
Okay. I've heard of this.
A little talented.
Is that Def Leppard drummer?
Yeah.
Is that who that is?
Yeah, the Def Leppard
Okay.
drummer.
See, I knew it. I knew some rock history. I know about drummers. I should have said that from the jump.
You sure it wasn't his cool glasses? Elton John did have some cool fucking glasses.
I love the Elton John glasses, man. And you know what? I have an extensive collection of Elton John outfits myself. I even wore one of them for a music video. I have tons of sunglasses. I probably have like 30 pairs of sunglasses, from heart shape to star shape to fucking every color you can imagine. So the music influence wasn't the only thing from the Elton John days that stuck. Definitely like the crazy outfits as well.
See, what I liked about Elton John is he had that I don't give a damn attitude right from the get.
Oh, and that's what I like about Kanye. They're both into fashion, they're both soulful, and they both don't give a fuck. And it's like they're rock stars in their own right. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of similarities between my two influences. I'd say that are pretty crazily similar. I mean, I don't know. Now, I've never really stopped and thought about it until right now, but the more I think about it, the more like it really makes a lot of sense.
Right. They're at different ends of the spectrum, like you said, but there's stuff that, it's right dead in the center to where, they both have that soulful style to them. Like you said, they're both into fashion. They don't give a damn. It's like, I'm going to put out what I want. If you like it, cool. If not,
right.
Cool. Don't listen. What's
Absolutely.
up? I would never. Your top two really surprises me, honestly, because it's got to be because they are so far apart on the musical spectrum.
Yeah.
But like, even you just sitting there talking about like the little bit of the similarities, it makes sense on, yeah, they may do different styles of music. They might be two different types of people, but when it comes down to it, they have the basic core values.
Yeah.
I can kind of see that in you, because you do have that soulful sound in your voice I don't want to say sing, because you don't really sing, but you put your melodies in there, and you do have the parts in your hooks to where you do kind of get in your melodic bag and throw out a little singing action here and there. And your style of music is just so unique, because like you listen to it and it's like, okay, well, this is the avenue he's going with it. And then you're just like, surprise. No, I'm not. I went the complete other way.
Yeah. I definitely like I like to throw people through a loop a little bit. I like the left turns. Cause I like listening to music that you don't expect what's going to happen next. You know what I mean? Like, music in general is a lot of formulas and a lot of, consistencies and structures. Like I can basically tell you, how, I mean, if you know one pop song, 100,000 pop songs, right? Because there is a copy pasted version of itself. Mm-hmm. But I love the music that just kind of throws you through a loop and takes twists and turns, and you don't really know what's going to happen next with it.
Okay, so that brings up a topic in my mind. You said the copy and paste, and unfortunately, that's like 99% of mainstream nowadays. Um, that everybody's got the same sound, everybody's trying to be the same. It almost seems like it's a competition to who can come out and with the most shock value.
Sure.
But if are you planning on staying independent forever? Do you plan on starting your own label, or would you ever sign to a label if it was offered to you?
I will take whatever makes the most financial sense, and whatever's going to provide the platform and the resources that I need. You know what I mean? I'm not married to the idea of signing to a record label. I'm not married to the idea of remaining independent forever. It's really, it just depends on what's going to make the most sense, moving forward. So we do have a record label that we're conceiving right now. And I would say if I were to sign to a label anytime soon, it's definitely going to be Studio 21 Records, which is manifesting right now out of Portland area that I'm in.
Okay.
However, I mean, if Sony comes in and says, "Here's $5 million," I mean, I think that everybody has a price. You know what I mean? Like I got to do what makes the most sense. I'm never going to leave my day one people behind. You know what I mean? If
Right.
so we'll figure it out as we go. I would say that there's no real plan on like I'm going to stay independent for the next 10 years or I'm going to sign to a record label within the next 6 months. I'm just going to keep producing content, keep making music, keep getting interviews like this, keep reaching out to artists I want to work with, and keep doing collaborations and see where it takes me. And I think that if and when the time comes to make decisions, I'll know what to do. I don't know what those will be now, but I know that when I'm in that situation, I'll understand how to do it. Intuitively, I'll just, go with what makes sense.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean,
I know a lot of people are like, I'm going to stay underground forever. I'm going to do this all by myself. And then I know other artists are like, I'm going for a record deal, and I'm gonna go for whatever makes sense. I really, don't know what that is at this point in time. You know what I mean? If there's good opportunities and it means signing to a label to get them, then let's do that. If I blow up before that happens independently, and we're making the necessary money and the necessary moves without any resources, then great. Either way is a good route in my opinion. It just really comes down to how smart you are as an individual. There's been lots of artists that have been signed with multi-million-dollar deals that didn't know how to handle themselves or didn't know how to handle their business, that lost everything, including their reputation and their name, and no one's heard of them now. You know what I mean? And then there's lots of independent artists that have never taken a cent from anybody, and now they're wealthy as fuck, and they're doing what they want to do. So I don't think there's one right path or one correct vision to getting to where you want to go. My ultimate goal is just to be financially free. That's really what I want. So whatever gets me there.
Fair enough. Like I know people that are like, oh, I'm going to stay independent, or I know people like you said, if a deal comes and if it sounds right and it's right at the right time, then I'll take that. The only thing I have, I don't know. I guess I'm kind of biased because I've gotten to the point in my life to where I hate making money for other people.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate it. So it's like, if I'm going to go out and make someone money, that somebody's going to be me and my family. Like, we're going to make the money. No one's going to take anything off top. I'm not going to be making money for other people. So, I mean, that's how I kind of like record labels. I feel don't have the artist's best interest at heart. This is just my own personal opinion.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if they see something in you, they're seeing dollar signs with it.
Right.
Like, I can make money off this dude.
Well, the cool thing about the record label that we're starting is that I have my executive producer. Her name is Deborah Howard. She owns Studio 21 Records and Studio 21. I mean, she's been an early on believer in my music career and me as a person, and she's invested into me before anybody else.
Right.
If there were, if any record label is going to take any money from the music that I'm creating, I would be more than happy for it to be her.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of just a different story. In terms of like a big machine making money off of you, you know what I mean? I have a personal connection to the actual owner. We've been
Right.
in this together prior to even the studio, prior to even the record label becoming a thing. We were already rocking with each other. She was already, putting her money where her mouth was, and really believing in what I'm doing at a really early stage in development where I wasn't even really ready to blossom all the way yet. And so I definitely think that people that help you out in the beginning, help them back out when you can.
Right.
So I would be more than happy to, and am going to be more than happy to, you know what I mean, make money on her behalf and work that machine with her.
Okay.
So I'd say that's a little bit different, but
Yeah,
yes, generally
that's
speaking,
why,
I agree.
one hand washes the other type thing. Like, she helped you out in the beginning. It's like, okay, well, you're giving me another shot, which is also helping me out. So you're like, okay with helping her make money as you make money, which I can understand,
Yeah,
and that's a very respectable thing. But
absolutely.
like you said, these multi-million, multi-billion-dollar conglomerates that are just like, oh yeah, we can make some money off you. It's like, why? Like, there's
Right.
no personal connection there. Your story goes so much deeper. You have that personal connection. You've had that time to grow a friendship and a business relationship with Susan up until this point. And, like you said, she sat there and basically put her neck out on the line for you in the
Right.
past. So, she's
Well,
already
it's like
showed her colors.
when we create the record label fully, and I sign with the record label, it will still feel very much independent. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because it's not Sony. It's not like when you think of record label. I mean, it's definitely going to grow into something big, and I do believe that. But it still feels pretty independent. We're the ones doing everything. I mean, I'm
Right.
I'm a really hands-on person in all aspects of my music and career. We try to do everything ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I can completely understand that aspect.
Yes, sir.
So, Portland, that means you're in the Pacific Coast. So you're 3 hours behind me. I'm on the complete other side of the country. I'm in New York.
Nice.
So, um, do you do your own mixing and mastering, or do you leave that up to the studio?
So yeah, I have a producer. His name is Sean. Sean Teach. He has been producing music with me since the very first album.
Okay.
Prior to our musical relationship, I was basically kind of just getting music recorded for fun. In like different people's studios. Usually they'd be in a house, sometimes even an apartment, someone's room. Like home studios,
Right.
and as much as I appreciate the home studio, no matter how hard we tried and no matter how much time we spent producing music in a home studio, there's always just that one little feeling that's missing from it
Mm-hmm.
that is different from when I hear like a song on the radio. Like no
Right.
matter how much we perfected it, no matter how much we put into it, there's just something missing. There's like a layer of depth that isn't getting captured,
Right.
to where it sounds slightly amateur, and you can almost get it perfect. Like we can almost get it to sound like a professional recording, but you just can't quite get it there. Like there's something missing. You know what I mean? So meeting Sean and building that musical relationship has been a blessing because we started off still kind of getting that production value was like almost there, but in the more recent stuff we've been producing, it's pretty much there.
Right.
I mean, I know he's got like probably $40,000 or $50,000 invested into his studio. There's probably $100,000 invested into the Studio 21 studio. So we're working with much better equipment, much better, rooms and environments. it makes a huge difference for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. Soundproofing and XLR
And there's nothing
cables.
wrong with the home studios. I mean, I recorded in home studios for years, and I really do love the vibe. Everyone loves smoking a blunt in a home studio and fucking, making some bangers at 2 a.m. Like, definitely, there's a fun element to that. That I think all artists really like. It just, it's the beginning days, but you can really produce great music that way too. I don't want to say take away anything from people that are recording at their house, or recording at a homie's house. But we've just kind of progressed to this point where we're taking the music pretty seriously. We're trying to attract attention from, investors. We're trying to attract attention from other artists, national acts and things like that. So we just, it was time to step up the game in terms of quality and production. But I still love some of the production that we had in the old days too.
Right.
Still some really good songs for sure.
Fred says the best labels are the ones that deal with artists and consumers on a personal basis. Absolutely.
100%.
Because if they're looking at you like a person, they see you as a person, not just a dollar sign. Where I have a personal problem is when I'm looked at, or anybody else is looked at, as just a dollar sign. It's like, you got to understand, these people have families. Some of them have families and shit to take care of, and like, this is their livelihood. They can't just be like, okay, well, yeah, we're gonna give you $3 million to do this record, and if it doesn't do well, you got to pay all that back, and you got to pay for all the production, you got to do all this, and it's like,
right.
No, like, if you want the production a certain way, and if you want it promoted a certain way, that should be within your contract. Like, you're putting your money into somebody. That's technically a gamble.
Yeah.
If I was running a record label, I would do everything in my fucking power to push this individual. Like, if I was to sign Caleb, I would be promoting his shit everywhere I could. I'd be getting in touch with radio stations. I would be, advertising, doing everything I can. I would have a whole marketing team. Okay, push out on Facebook, push out on Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. There's so many social media platforms out there that are technically free to use.
Right.
Like, promote the hell out of everything. It may take a little bit of time to learn it. I'm still learning it, but I've gotten better, and it's only been a couple of weeks since I've really buckled down and tried to learn this stuff.
The process of getting a record deal anymore is so different, though, too, nowadays. Like, in the 80s, in the 90s, even in the early 2000s, I mean, you can walk into a record exec's office with a single, show them your single or your album or your idea, and if they like it, then you can get signed. Nowadays, I mean, I think record labels want to see a proof of concept. So they want to see that you already can clout yourself up, that you already have numbers on certain platforms. They want to make sure that you already have fans before they take a risk on you. They're not taking a risk on talent anymore. They want to see people with numbers, people that already have exposure that they did on their own. So you basically, if you want a record label, you got to go independent first. And then you get a record label after you've gotten to a certain point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you basically have to do the work for the record label. Like, boost up all your numbers, get that fan base. And, like, there's people out there that can do that. Like,
getting a record label without a fan base is probably pretty close to impossible. At least a good record label. If you want to deal and actually get paid for your art, you're not going to do it without a fan base.
Exactly.
They want to see something. They want to see some kind of proof of concept that you can do it.
I mean, some of the top YouTubers that I know that are doing it independent, like, you got Tom McDonald, you've got Ryan Upchurch, and these people have grinded for years building their fan base and, just putting out song and putting in the blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
And then, record labels want to reach out to them after the fact because they've already done all the hard work. All the record label has to do is stamp their name on them, and that's a paycheck.
Right.
Because they already know, okay, well, this dude's got 3 million followers on Facebook, 8 million listeners on Spotify, yada, yada, yada. And that's less work that we have to do. So if we put out a track with our brand on it, it's already going to get listened to by so many people. So you're basically doing all the work for the record label as it is. Like
It's a lot of work though. So
yeah.
I mean, like in like the case of someone like Tom McDonald, I mean, he's doing everything himself, music videos, you know what I mean? He's doing merch, he's doing CD sales, he's managing his own website, he's managing his own social medias. I mean, I would say there's a double-edged sword. I mean, there's benefits to where a label will come in and they'll do everything for you. All I have to worry about literally is music, and then everything is taken care of. They distribute merch, they send it off, they distribute albums, they do all the shit. They schedule the video shoots. They get everything ready for you. All you have to do is show up. So, I mean, there's definitely still some benefits, I'd say, to the machine. It's just figuring out that sweet spot, and if you're willing to sacrifice some money for that luxury, you know what I mean? Right. You're going to make more money independent, but you're going to be working 60, 70, 80-hour work weeks doing it. As to where if you're with a label, they're going to take 30% of your money, but you can sleep until 11 and show up to your podcast interview half drunk from the night before. And you know what I mean? And you're not the one setting up the podcast interview. You're not the one, you know what I mean? You have people that are speaking on your behalf. They're negotiating deals on your behalf. They're doing all of the shit. So, you know, it really just depends on how much work you want to do, how lazy you are. And some people love doing all that work themselves. They you know what I mean? They're all about it. Some people just want to write the music, and that's why they go the label route, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can understand both sides of it. Like you said, it's a double-edged sword. Like, there's going to be sacrifices made one way or the other, whether it's your time and energy or it's a little bit of a financial sacrifice.
Yeah, definitely.
What's up, Namson? How you doing, brother? Namson's a really dope artist that I came across from the High Res Cypher.
Oh, nice. What's up, Namson?
Though in Upchurch's case, he's got his own label now. Yeah, well, that's because he signed with a label and they screwed him over really bad. And he's like, no, I'm going to buy myself out of this. And then he started his own label, which... And
then you start your own label. It's kind of this almost similar because you're paying people now. Now you have employees. Now you have you know what I mean? So you're paying some way. You're always going to pay some way unless you're doing it 100% independent, in which case you're paying with your own body at that point. I mean, just how much labor it is. But definitely... I'd say it's just a matter of personal preference, really, and getting the right deal. I mean, you can definitely get fucked super hard.
Yeah, I got a buddy of mine that signed with Sony, and they gave him a really shitty deal. And luckily, when COVID hit, they were just kind of like, you know, COVID, we can't do videos, we can't do, you know, performances or whatever, so we're just going to kind of squash this or whatever. And we're just going to take our loss on it. So he got super lucky there.
Yeah.
But like he got out of a bad deal, and I felt bad for him because like him and I would talk on the back end of it, and he's like, man, you can't, while this is going on, you can't say anything. But like, I'm in a really shitty situation with this deal. I thought it was good. They made it sound good, but at the end of the day, they're raking me over the coals.
Yeah. I mean, if you can't go out and buy a house and a new car comfortably and still get your projects done and not have to lose sleep over worrying about what's going to happen next, then it's not a good deal.
Right.
You know, definitely. And there's not many good deals really out there. Like I said, you have to already be established in order to get a good deal.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge misconception. And I think that's due to like the movies and TV shows. Everyone portrays like, got a record deal, like it's winning the lottery or something, you know? And so I think there's this false perception about record deals that it's going to just overnight, you're going to fucking blow and be rich. And it's not that case at all. You know what I mean?
Right.
However, there is good deals that are given out to people that are already established. You know what I mean? So it just kind of goes back to that. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I hate to use your name as a pun, but it's kind of like a wild card. You don't know what you're going to get. And it's just like, do I stay sacrificing more of my time to, you know, keep recording my own music, pay someone to master it, and then record my own videos, pay someone to edit it, and then pay for all the promotion on it to get it pushed out. And it's just like, I mean, I'm at a much smaller aspect, but I'm in a similar boat with like a YouTube channel, because I could pay to promote my channel. I choose not to. I want to get the organic viewers, and like the people that you see in the chat are literally in the chat every time we go live, every time we drop a reaction.
Yeah.
Ramson, I have a podcast that I do with him on Wednesdays called A Dab of Madness. And like he's become a really close friend of mine. And it's, if I would have paid to promote my channel, I don't feel that it would feel as authentic as it did.
Yeah, I think that grassroots is definitely like hands down. I mean, the best marketing. Word of mouth is always and still is the best way to sell anything. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to sell the product if other people are selling it for you, because they're talking about it. You know what I mean? Sharing it and turning other people onto whatever it is. And you get that genuine connection with your fan base or with your listeners or supporters or whatever. And it's worth its weight in gold. I mean, I'd rather have 500 real supporters than 100,000 people that are just riding a wave. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I completely understand that point too. It's like, yeah, whether you're a content creator or whether you're an artist, one of the biggest things that I've come to learn is it's hard as hell, but you have to not focus on the numbers. You just have to keep doing what you love doing, and you have to be authentic. You can't bullshit people, because people will be able to see it.
Definitely.
And if you're putting on a fake show, people are going to be able to see that too. Like, and they don't like that. They don't vibe with it. So they're like, nah, this dude, he's changed. He's not the same person. So I'm not going to rock with him no more.
Yeah.
You have to be authentic, and you just have to love what you do. If you don't love what you do, it's really going to show.
Definitely. True words.
In metal, Napalm does a good job, covers the support end, but they expect their artists to get out there, interact with fans, work the PR, and that does work. Fans love it when artists interact. Absolutely, and Napalm is very intelligent with how they do that.
Yeah.
Because instead of having a whole team go out and be like, well, we're taking over your Twitter, we're taking over your Facebook, we're taking over this and that. No, you maintain that. You maintain contact with your fan base. Because
I think that's why independent artists are getting more and more respect and kind of climbing the ranks a little bit. Even, you know, a lot of independent artists are competing with industry artists and doing pretty well at competing with them. Either they're right up there with them, or they're just a little bit, you know, below in terms of numbers. But I think that's because of that human interaction, that intimate interaction, that, you know, people want to feel like they're involved in something. Like if I'm a part of your fan group, then how do I know that without you, you know, personally interacting with me? So yeah, definitely.
Right. And it's just like, you can't sit there. I don't know. I guess the best analogy I can compare it to is like, if you call the cable company, you get that automated service. Push 1 for English. But if you make that call to an independent artist and you put out that DM and they open the DM and they want to respond to you, you're getting that artist. You're not getting that automated system. You're not getting a different person that's acting on their behalf. You're getting that legit, genuine experience.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It is hard for an independent to be played on the radio. But so that's also another step that you got to, you know, factor in.
To run a regional terrestrial campaign on the radio for one song, it's $30,000 a month. So $30K will get you on a terrestrial campaign on a mainstream, you know, radio station, whatever the top one is within a region. So it's what is it? They're markets. I think the United States is broken into like, I don't know, like 12 or 17 markets. And it's all kind of like, I don't know, like Oregon and Washington and Idaho could be one market. You know what I mean? And they're kind of like regional like that. That's why I don't know if you guys ever traveled, around the country, but if you travel, like when I went to Florida, I hear different shit on the radio than I hear here. It's because they're in a different market, and so there's different artists that are paying for these different campaigns. So if you're an independent artist and you want to be on the radio, you're looking at 30K for 1 month for one market. So if you want to be on national scale, I mean, that's probably what, I don't know, 30K times 12. A lot of money. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, $500,000 almost for getting played nationally on the radio for 1 month. But it can be done for an independent artist. You just have to have the money to do it, and then pay, a guy to monitor all of it. Somebody has to monitor the spins, which also costs money. It's definitely a process. I've learned a little bit about it, dabbled into it a little bit, considered doing a 1 month terrestrial run in my market. The thing about it is if you have a lot of faith in your single, it could be beneficial, because believe it or not, it doesn't cost money to be on the radio. It costs money to manage the spins and have someone look over everything and basically continue to feed the pipeline to all the different radio stations. They're all sister stations. It's like a giant spider web, and they're all kind of connected. That's why you'll hear like Ryan Seacrest, this is jamming 107.5, and you'll hear that same exact fucking tagline in like every city you go to, because he's saying that like a million times for all these millions of sister stations, you know what I mean? And so if though, however, let's say you paid for a campaign for a month, you put up 30 grand, and you just know that your song is it. If you know you got a hit and it's undeniable and it's fucking, that's a hit song, you get it put on the radio, and it does really well, and people respond really well to it. And if enough people call in and go, I want to hear that again, then you can coast and you don't have to pay the next month, because enough people are calling in and requesting that song. And then it kind of goes viral through the radio waves, not on the internet, and it can self-sustain that way. And then you start getting paid because enough people are calling in and requesting your song. Now you're getting advertising split revenue and stuff like that. So it does cost money to get it started. However, if you have enough faith in the song and you have the money to invest, I mean, give it a shot, see how it goes. I have not taken that leap of $30,000 faith. I don't have $30,000 to throw at that, even if I wanted to take the leap. But I mean, if you have a song and you're sure of it, I mean, it might not be a terrible idea. Just I guess it kind of depends on your market and how much faith you got in the song. Yes, radio is definitely a thing of the past.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's almost not worth it when you can sit there and do like a 30 or 40-second clip and put it on TikTok, and like it's free for you to put it on there, and then like if it goes viral, it's just gone. And like you're getting that national attention. It's not just in one market, it's national and worldwide attention.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and the chances of your song really going on the radio is pretty slim. It's pretty slim. I mean, you got to have a fucking ringer of a song. Right. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, radio, man. But I feel like radio is like the thing that every artist wants to hear their song on the radio. That's like, you fucking made it. If you hear your song on the radio, you fucking made it. And I think that's another kind of common a common perception that's just kind of, like the record label thing. Like, get a record label, it's going to solve all my problems. We made it. We're on the fucking radio. We're in 2022. People aren't listening to the radio like they used to be. The only time I ever listen to the radio is when I have to, when it's on and I'm in the same room and I'm listening to it by default.
Right. Yeah, I was going to say, I get in the car and I throw out my phone, I connect to YouTube Music, and I have a playlist on there, and I'll just support the people that I support on YouTube, and I just run that. Like, I don't listen to the radio anymore. It's almost like newspapers. Yeah, when they first came out, the original thought of it was amazing. Radio used to be the news broadcast before the newspapers could even get printed, And then,
Yep.
oh, well, this next best artist. Okay, yeah, that's back when, you clicked on MTV and you waited 3.5 hours to see your favorite artist's music video pop on when they actually played music. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not just like now everything's on demand. You like if you want to go listen to a Caleb Wildcard song, you go to youtube.com and type in Caleb Wildcard and boom, you can listen to any song. It's not a song that's picked for you. It's like, no, I want to listen to this song. Same thing with
Yeah,
Spotify.
well, that's what the internet's done. The internet's given people the choice to what they want to listen to. You know what I mean? And everyone's, that's why I said, like, all the genres are kind of blending together, and everyone's music taste is kind of doing the same thing. People listen to what they want to listen to. Mm-hmm. Same with TV. We got Netflix, we have Hulu, we have Amazon Prime, we have all these different streaming, platforms. Back in the day, there was Channel 3 and Channel 4, and that's what you got. And the people loved whatever was on, just because that's what they had to watch. But different times, man.
Ed in Texas, well, there's radio, and then there's KEXP and KEXP live videos. Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, honestly, with how the attention span of the average human being is 7 seconds. So if you're playing something on the radio and you're trying to avidly listen to it, within 15 to 30 seconds, you're going to wander off and you're going to be like, oh yeah, the radio's still playing. Like, that's why, YouTube and everything kicked off as well as it did, because you have the videos, everything. Like, you don't have to wait for the radio to, go through and, like, I remember if I wanted to hear a song and I didn't have the cassette or the CD, I had to call the radio station and request it and then wait like 3.5 hours for them to play the damn song. Now I've got a whole playlist of songs ready to go at any given time.
Yep. So, and I'm grateful for that too. I'm grateful for that because, I even in high school, I remember just listening to the same 7 songs over and over again because that was on the radio, So yeah, no, it's definitely a nice luxury to be able to pick and choose what you listen to when you listen to it.
Yeah, and even if you're like doing, let's say, an artist playlist, like someone goes to Spotify and it's like, oh, okay, I want to listen to this artist, and they give you like that artist radio. Obviously, they're going to throw similar artists in there, and you hear something that you don't like, oh, skip. You don't have to sit there and wait through the song like you did 20 years ago on the radio. It's like, oh God, this song's on again.
Right.
And then you just let it play in the background. But now you can just skip everything, and it's a blessing and a curse, because it's really given the people that, expect the world to be handed to them on a silver platter. That's part of the reason why, because everything's instant gratification. So we don't know how to wait for anything anymore.
Very true.
So it is a blessing and a curse.
Most good things are, bro.
You're not wrong there. You're not wrong. But it's all in how you look at it, honestly. I mean, I look at it like this. If I would have never gotten on YouTube and started a YouTube channel, I wouldn't have met any of these amazing people that I interact with on a daily basis. Any of the people in the chat, you yourself. I've done interviews with Nampson. I've done interviews with Crip the Rapper. I've done an interview with Vin J. I've done an interview with First to 11, a cover band. And it's just like, I would have never met any of them if it wasn't for YouTube. Like, I probably would have never even heard of any of them if it wasn't for YouTube.
Well, the yin yang, I mean, like that, this idea, that everything is a curse and a blessing, depending on what way you're looking at it, is an ancient old like idea. I mean, even in the Bible, there's a Bible verse that says, I don't remember what the Bible verse says, but it's something along the lines of like the potter chooses what to make with the clay, but the clay is not bad. It's something along those lines. I really can't quite remember it. It's a little fuzzy, but but it's like the same idea. It's like, if I'm a bad person, I can use the clay to make a pot and fill the pot with poison to kill you. If I'm a good person, I use the exact same clay to make a pot to fill with water to feed my daughter. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's the person that, you know what I mean? It's all up to interpretation. Is it the pot that's evil because it's one of them's feeding someone poison and one of them's, you know what I mean, giving someone water? Everything is a double-edged sword. It's all about, you know, perspective and just understanding, or I guess fucking what your intentions are.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely depends on what type of a person you are, because like you said, I have an empty cup right here. Do I put poison in it or do I put water in it? Like, that all depends on the type of person I am and where my mindset's at.
Right.
Like, I understand it completely.
But it's not the pot itself, you know what I mean? So it's not YouTube itself. It's the people. Like, it's not, you know what I mean? Like, anything can be used for good or for bad. I can use a knife to put peanut butter on my sandwich, or I can stab my dog right here. You know, like, it's the human intention, I guess, behind anything and everything that's going to determine if it's a blessing or if it's a curse.
Of course, Be Mad would be like, oh, sounds like the Assassin Teapot. I actually just came across the Assassin Teapot the other day, and that is probably one of the neatest designs ever. It's fucked up, but it's neat.
Yeah.
They have different chambers in there to where you can sit there and have two cups, and in the same teapot, you pour the first cup, and then you pour the second cup, and you can fill them and drink it. And then the other one's poisoned. It's like, what the fuck?
Seen that? Yeah, the Assassin's Teapot. I love that.
3 holes cover either to release, 1 cover, none to release both. Interesting. I didn't realize that. I thought it was depending on how far you tip the teapot. I didn't realize it had holes that determined.
Be Mad, you know a little bit too much about this for my liking.
You're not wrong.
You put a little bit too much thought into this. I don't know which hole that you're covering when you type.
Be Mad reached out to me when he first found the channel. He's like, hey, I want to do some cover art for you. And I think he said it was you that he did some cover art for. Am I thinking of the right person?
Did he do maybe. I don't know. I haven't had any cover art done. I've had somebody reach out to me. Be Mad, have you done cover art for me? I don't feel like you have, but maybe.
I can't remember if it was you, because I know there's another artist on YouTube that goes by the name of Wildcard.
Yes.
So I'm not sure if it was you or if it was him. But I'm pretty sure he said one of you guys. I don't think so. Then who did you do cover art? When you first came to the channel, you said that you did cover art. I thought you said it was for Caleb. I have goldfish brain, so my thoughts come and go as I go.
Feel that. This motherfucker's spitting. There's a Phil Wildcard? What the fuck?
He's like, damn, I thought I was being original.
How many wild cards are out there? It's okay. I can share.
There's always a couple wild cards in the deck. Or jokers, whatever you want to call them.
Love it. I just got to blow up first. I just got to be the first to make the name a household name. Then everyone else is a copier. But if they blow up first, then I'm the copier. There's another Caleb too? What the fuck?
Caleb, yes, but not Wildcard though. Okay, what do you want, Moose? You are much bigger than the dog that's on camera. The dog that's on camera is like this big. That's like the size of her head.
Nice.
Yes, go Moose.
Nestle loves big dogs. Don't you?
I believe it's a different name now, though. Perhaps way harder to recall. Well, hello to you too, puppy. You talking?
Yeah.
Put me down, Dad. I don't like this.
Yeah, he's a little camera shy.
I don't want to do this no more. Put me down.
Yeah. Leslie's been through it all.
So if anybody in the chat was to want to like reach out to work with you, like how would they go about doing that? Like, are you open for collaborations, or is it something that you're more picky on? Or
It's I'm pretty picky, bro. I mean, it really kind of just depends on if the vision lines up, and if there's synergy with the artistic, artistic energy, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm picky. I just would like to like kind of have some rapport built with someone first. You never know who people are, first of all. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want a couple things on this. One, if I worked and collaborated with everybody that messages me to work and collaborate, I wouldn't have any time to do anything because all I would ever be doing is collaborating with everybody. So I can't do that. You can't work with everybody, you know what I mean? I would love to. If I had, 60 hours in a day, I might consider working with everybody, but it's just like and not to sound arrogant, I'm serious. There's way too many people that there's just it can't be done. So you have to be a little bit picky, and then it comes down to musical taste. I have people. I had this guy send me a message. He's like, "Bro, I really want to work with you. Check this out." He sends me over the song, and it's just guns and selling drugs and fucking. And I'm not gonna do that. You know what I mean? So the content of the music matters to me. I'm not just gonna jump on a fucking banger with you and fucking talk shit over a beat, you know what I mean, and do that. Like if there's some substance there, if me and the artist have some rapport built up, and we've talked a little bit, and then we share the same musical intention, I guess, and vision for how the project's going to be. I guess it's just kind of like I take things slowly when it comes to working with artists.
Okay.
Also, I'm at a point where I'm trying to make every decision I'm making in a musical sense is looked at as a business decision. So I have to ask myself if it makes good business sense. If I got someone that's, constantly complaining, putting negative energy into the world. I go to their Facebook account or their Instagram and they just have negative shit all the time, and like they're not putting love into the world. Like I don't want to work with somebody like that. Or, someone that just, I guess it just kind of depends. It's all case by case. If there's something unique about you that I feel like could benefit both of us to collaborate, then I'm more than down to. And I'll listen to everybody's shit. I don't care who it is. Like I'll take the time to check it out because you never know. You know what I mean? Like what could potentially be a really cool project. But I am pretty picky. I would say I'm pretty picky. But I'm not picky with who I have a conversation with. I'll talk to anybody. I'll listen to anything. But in terms of actually nailing something down and like let's really work on a project and complete a project, I'm pretty picky on who I'll do that with. I just don't want to waste my time or anybody else's time. And if it's not a decision that's going to make sense in a business sense, then it's not really worth doing for me. There was a time maybe 5 or 6 years ago where I'd probably get on a track with anybody. Doesn't matter, it's all for the love of music. Let's do it. Let's just, you know what I mean? At this point, I just am kind of picky.
Hey, man, you gotta be like you said. If you worked with everybody that reached out to you, one, you'd never have any time for yourself. And two, as soon as you did get a little bit of time, you've written so much shit. The last thing that you're going to want to do is write something for yourself. You're just going to be like, I want to take this time and I want to sit back and I want to relax. And I don't even want to think about the studio right now.
Well, and I really only want to work with other artists that are serious too. You know what I mean? Like I'm not interested in working with people that are doing this as a hobby and they just think it would be fun. You know what I mean? Because it does nothing for anyone, you know what I mean, in that transaction. if it's not something that's truly dope that I can't, I want to be able to stand behind it, and I want to be able to be excited about the project. I want to be able to show it off. I want to be able to promote it. And if it's not up to a certain standard, then I'm not going to be excited about it. So why even do it if I'm not going to be excited about it?
Boston says, I think 15th Bend would be good to work with. Yeah, 15th does some amazing electric guitar work. He's only been doing it for like 2 years. The first, I just came across this dude like 3 months ago, 3-4 months ago. And he sent me, I was doing a live reaction request stream, and he sent it in. And he's like, don't be too harsh or critical. I know I'm not very good at guitar. I've only been playing since the pandemic started. And I listened to that and I stopped the song. I was like, don't you ever say you're not good at guitar. Like, that was fucking amazing, dude. Like, have some faith in yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you have that negativity, you're always going to doubt yourself and you're always going to sell yourself short. Like, have faith in yourself. Be proud of the shit you do.
Yeah, the biggest success blocker is doubt, for sure. And I think that's one of the hardest things to get within yourself, is that true belief. You know what I mean? That belief that you can do it, the belief that you're good enough, the belief that you're, that you're just that belief in yourself to make something of yourself, to follow your dreams or whatever, see something all the way through. It's really hard to find that belief. I got people in my life that are amazingly talented, videographers, but they're working a day job. And I tell them every week, like, quit your job and do videos full time. And they're like, oh, well, what if I don't get clients? I got bills. What if I have this? What if I have that? That's all just in other words for saying, I don't think I can do it.
Right.
It's just different ways to say that I have doubt. And that crushes people's dreams. There's people that die with their talent because they're scared of failing. And, I'm not going to say it's easy to find that confidence, because it's work. It takes work.
Definitely.
Some people it comes naturally, but I think most people have to work to get that belief.
I think Caleb and the Real Young Swag would be able to come up with a great collab. Just my opinion. Have you heard of the Real Young Swag?
I have not.
Oh, he's a really dope dude. He's another one of my buddies.
Nice.
He's got one of these like really authentic voices. Like, if he starts rapping or singing, it's him.
Yeah.
And he's a similar mindset with you. He's like, in order to collab with him, like, he's really got to feel the track. He's got to believe in the message. Like, he's not going to jump on something that's out of his beliefs or anything that's out in left field per se. But
yeah,
he's a really dope dude.
Well, I will say this: there's So I mean, I have to have faith in the song. I have to vibe with the song. However, I mean, if you want to take the feature route, I mean, I do have options. If you want to pay me to get on a song, like, I'll do that. I mean, that's how I make money. I do features for artists, and I have made some money in the past year doing that. I still have to. I mean, I'm not going to get on a song no matter how much you pay me if it completely compromises my morals or something that I believe in. I'll just politely deny the project. But I'll get on a whack artist shit for the right price. You know what I mean? That's kind of part of the game coming up. It's another way of income. It's another way to make money. So if there's like an artist that's in artist development, and they're kind of in their first couple of years, and they're really not to a professional level yet, but they want to invest in a feature for to hop on it, I'll do things like that. It helps the artist with their confidence. It helps the artist. Now they have a dope project with, with a more seasoned artist. They get to have that. So I'm always open for business, in terms of that. So I would say there's kind of a difference in my mind anyways, between a feature and a collaboration.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, collab is someone that you want to work with. Feature is, hey, I want you to work with me, so I'm willing to pay you for it.
Exactly. And I'm always open for business on that end of the scale. So, I mean, like, as long as the song is not completely horrific, I'll always be open to quoting people for collabs that are paid features. But as far as the collabing on a genuine, like, we're feeling each other, you know what I mean? That's where I get picky.
Right. And I mean, I gotta say, I have a lot of respect for you now, getting to know you a little bit better, because you're not one of these people that's willing to set out or sell out and be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna rap about this even if I don't believe in it, because you're willing to give me a little bit of money for it. You're like, no, you can't pay me enough. I'm not getting on this shit. Like,
Yeah.
you want to talk about drugs, guns, and women and nightclubs and all that crap. More power to you. That's not for me. I'm gonna decline.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess I do have a price for that, but no one's going to pay it. It's
Right.
astronomical. I'll get on a guns and drugs song with you. Like if you have $1 million, you know what I mean? Like the price is just out of everyone's price range, so it's not going to happen anyways. But I mean, I think everyone has a price. If someone came up to me with a suitcase and had $300,000 in it and said rap about drugs and guns, I think I would have to rap about guns and drugs for that track. So I think that my artist integrity is for sale at a very high price point, though. Very high price point.
Honestly, would you do it promoting it and trying to like glorifying the wrong path, or would you take it as be like, okay, you said all I had to do was rap about drugs and guns, so you're gonna take that 300,000 and you're gonna be like, listen, this is what happens when you do this stupid shit. It's not good.
Yeah, I'm not going to immerse myself in the lifestyle or even portray to that whatsoever. No, there's not really a price tag on that. But just in terms of a feature, you know what I mean? Like if it's a feature or whatever, like whatever. But again, we're talking in serious hypotheticals that are unrealistic. I mean, even for like Lil Wayne standards, I mean, no one's paying $300,000 for a verse, really. On any level of music, so it wouldn't happen.
I completely agree with you there.
A standard is set so high that it will never, ever, ever happen. So, I mean, even like Drake or Nicki Minaj, I mean, they're charging $150K for a verse. So 300,000, who the fuck's gonna pay me that?
Right.
Nobody.
Well, Wildcard, if you ever need any help with cover art, I am quick with it. And I dig a vibe, always down to help out any friend of Hatter.
Nice. Be Mad. Yeah. Much love.
Yeah, Be Mad. He does a lot of different like overlays and stuff for me. I don't even ask the dude. He's just like, hey, check your email. I open it up and I've got like 5 or 6 different overlays, animated overlays. And I was like,
nice.
How much do I owe you? Nothing. I got bored. I was like, you the man, Be Mad.
I love it. That's awesome.
Welcome back, Andrea. Going to watch from the beginning. If you need anything, tag me in the comments. Not a problem, Andrea. Glad you were able to make it back. I really enjoy artists that have a great vibe and a very positive message. Yeah, I do too. For me, like I said before, it's really got to have the substance for me. Like if you have just a song called Goomba and you're not saying shit,
yeah,
why even bother? I mean, the man's out there making his money. Do your thing.
Well, I think we're judging 2 different art forms, because I would say that Tekashi has an art form, but it's not music. But I would say that he has an art form, but I think that people judge that. I mean, his art form is not music. However, he is packaged as an artist. Right. I mean, he's an actor. He's an entertainer. He's good at keeping people's attention. You know what I mean? And he's outlandish. I'm not sticking up by any means for the man or anything he's done or said. I don't even know anything about him, but I know that he's not an artist, and I know that he is good at what he does. Though, I mean, you can't take that away from, like you said, he's getting his money. There's definitely something to that. There's something to what he's doing, but as an artist myself and as someone that loves music like yourself, we're looking at him going, this is not, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
What is this?
But like even you just opened my eyes on it. It's like, why is he even out here? Because he's a public image and he is outlandish.
He's good at it. He's good at what he does.
Like the acting.
No one can be Tekashi 6ix9ine better than Tekashi 6ix9ine. He is very good at playing the role that he is playing, and that has made him a multimillionaire, you know what I mean? And there's something there to respect, I would say. I don't know if I necessarily, it's not my cup of tea. Not my cup of, what was that teapot called?
Oh fuck, what was it called? Damn it.
I'm scrolling, I'm looking for it.
The assassination teapot?
It's not my cup of assassination tea, yeah. No, but there is something to be said about that. He's his own type of artist, and it's a different medium of art. It's not music. You know what I mean?
Right. They just put a beat behind it.
Yeah. And a lot of artists are like that. That's where we got the Island Boys, and we got the there's a lot of artists that do this. Even like Riff Raff. Riff Raff was kind of the OG 6ix9ine. He was Tekashi before Tekashi was Tekashi. You know.
Right.
So I mean, we've always had these characters, and they're kind of just like freak shows, almost like we just kind of they're so crazy that you can't not look at it. It's like what the fuck is this guy doing? Wearing, saying, you know, I don't know, but I'm going to keep looking at it for some reason.
That is a really good way of looking at it, though.
And well, the thing is I think that they're aware of it. They know. He knows he's not an artist. They know that. They're doing it on purpose. It's intentional. They know that they're playing a role, and they know that they're getting the attention from it, and they're making the money from it. So they're going to keep doing it. And they're going to keep trying to one up themselves and be crazier and crazier because that's how they're making their money. And they know that they're not actual artists. They know they're not doing a versus challenge with Jay-Z, or you know what I mean.
Right.
They're not going to hold a candle to a real artist, and they 100% know that. But their art form isn't music, and they also know that their art form is expressing themselves differently through other mediums. So I think that's the gray area. When we judge those types of artists on their music, we're gonna hate them. But if we judge them as a performer, or just an entertainment act, a jester almost, you can kind of see them in a little bit of a different light. But it just all depends on who you are. Again, it's whatever your assassination cup of tea is.
That is a very interesting way of looking at that. What up, Erland? I see you here. The Island Boys? Yeah, that's just another group of actors that are paid very, very well to put on a show.
They're gimmicks. I mean, they're gimmicks. They're people like them. People like to watch them. You know what I mean? They're weird. They're like the Kardashians of the rap world. I mean, they're I don't know. It's hard to pinpoint what the fuck they are, but they're their own brand of entertainment. People find them entertaining. I personally don't. I don't follow these people and watch their lives, but enough people do for them to be talked about right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's definitely. I think you said it best with like the freak show part, and I don't mean any disrespect by this, but like in the old days, if you went to the circus or the carnival, they had like the freak show there, and people knew it was wrong to go and look at it, but they still spent their money and made fun of the bearded lady, or made fun of the really tall dude, or the really small person, and it's like we as humans suck, honestly.
We still have that. You've seen the guy with the long neck, the fucking, or the guy with the fucking weird ass mouth that like bends up into his face. Like there's still weird ass people, and they're making a living off of their content being fucking them. You know what I mean? It definitely is its own art form. It's interesting to say the least. I mean, but it's a thing.
Dennis Rodman, the OG.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. You did some acting. I remember.
But back when like just coloring your hair and getting a nose piercing was wild back then. You know what I mean? Like no one saw that. Now it's like you go to church and the pastor has a nose ring. It's not uncommon to see professionals having different colored hair. It's not uncommon to see doctors having tattoos. But like when Dennis Rodman was, that was definitely shock value back then. Like, what the fuck is he wearing? What is he doing? Wearing, so yeah, it definitely was an OG entertainer.
And that's another thing is I think it's more or less the shock value than it is anything else. Like, I honestly, when I remember listening to the first 6ix9ine song, it was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I didn't know what to think about it. And
Yeah.
it's just like, it sounds awful, but I can't stop watching it for some reason.
I will say I liked the 6ix9ine video. The one when he just got out of prison, and there's like a bunch of colors on the wall, and there's a bunch of chicks, and he like pokes some fun at himself, and has a little. He like his face turns into a rat, cartoon version of a rat. I thought that video was fucking. There was some genius in that. You know, the way that he did it. It was all planned. That's the other thing, that it was so well planned and perfect. He knew he was going to fucking blow up with that. Everyone's calling him a snitch. He's just owning it, doesn't care. And not only is he owning it, but he's making fun of it. You know what I mean? He's a rat, a cartoon fucking rat. Like there's some genius behind it. You know what I mean? That has to be taken into account. The song itself, I'm not going to listen to in my car while I'm driving. You know what I mean? And I'm definitely there's no replay value to me. I'm not going to go and replay it all the time and listen to it and turn up. But the entire concept, there was some strategy behind it that was pretty smart.
Oh, definitely. The record label knew what they were doing, and they're like, "This is the video we're doing, and we're like, this is what you're gonna say in this part. We're gonna do an animated rat face on you." Like, that video was out a week after he got released, and that video like almost blew apart records on YouTube.
It did. I thought it didn't it break YouTube for a day or for like an hour. I thought it actually the counter broke. The fucking the fucking thing broke for a minute. Maybe it was just like an hour or two, but it definitely went there, crashed the servers for a second.
Because as soon as it was released, everybody was watching it, and it's just like it couldn't keep up, and it's just like.
That's a classic case of striking while the iron's hot. He already had everyone fucking talking about him, and they weren't talking good about him. No one was saying anything good about 6ix9ine in that moment, in those weeks prior. It was a bunch of hate, but it was everywhere. It was the Breakfast Club. It was fucking Shade 45. It was fucking every major publication, podcast, article, news reporter, music fucking blog. Everything was just fuck 6ix9ine, you know, for so long. I remember I was like, dude, why does everyone care this much? I was wondering like why it was that big of a deal to begin with, but he definitely he took his moment and he ran with it, and it worked for him.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Warren Buffett said, "Never let a good crisis go to waste." So true. I mean, he that was one of the best examples that I think that I can recall of someone taking bad publicity and flipping it on the people. I mean, he took all the bad press in the world and he turned it into a fucking joke, and he ended up winning because of it.
Oh yeah, he got paid for it. Like, I mean, all the radio plays, all the YouTube plays, all the streams on every other platform. Like his record company made money too. Don't get me wrong, but this man made money.
Yeah,
and it was a smart play. I will give him that. It was a very intelligent play. Like Caleb said, everybody had his name in their mouth. It's like, oh, fuck 6ix9ine, blah, blah, blah. He gets out of prison for supposedly snitching. And then he puts in the song that he's a rat. And it's like,
yeah,
you got some balls, bro.
He shows off his like ankle monitor bracelet or whatever, you know, just like kind of just trolling. He's just a troll.
Yeah.
That is his art form. That is what he does. Like I said, no one can be Tekashi better than Tekashi. He's the best at being him, which love it or hate it. I mean, it works for him. Again, I'm not a fan. I don't condone 80% of the shit that I've heard him say or do. I think that and after I watched the documentary on him, I actually think he's like pretty fucking worthless as a person. Just, you know, after watching the documentary, he's just kind of a shitty guy, but again, he is the best at being that version of a shitty guy. I mean, you can't knock that.
It's working for him, and he's making money off of it. So,
Yep.
Like I said, MGK career lagging. Pick a fight with Eminem or Corey Taylor.
I thought that was smart too, in a way. I mean, like, but he got some backlash. I think that same thing with the shock value, like wearing the pink like turtleneck thing, you know, with the pearls, like it. He's taken a page right out of the Tekashi book, and Tekashi took the page out of the Riff Raff book. Riff Raff took the page out of the fucking whatever, fucking basketball player. I already forgot his fucking name. Dennis Rodman. Yeah, I mean they're all just one-upping each other with the shock value.
Oh, I Need the Eyes on Me. Like, I was surprised. Like, I didn't even listen to the song. This was before I even started my YouTube channel, I think, when MGK dissed Eminem, and I was just like, I didn't even listen to it. And my first impression was like, dude just ended his fucking career. Like, it's been statistically proven that people that usually diss Eminem don't fare well when it comes to music.
But he went up a level. I think that put him from B-list to A-list.
I can see both sides of it. Like,
not in the music world, though. He actually went down a level, I think, in the music world, but as a public person, like as just a figure, he's now getting invited to higher up parties. He's now mingling with higher circles, I believe, than he was prior to that diss track.
Oh yeah, he definitely took a hit when it comes to music, because I mean, if you listen to MGK, he doesn't do hip hop no more.
The music side of it,
punk rock.
He definitely went down a peg in the music side of it, and I think that as an artist probably hurt him, but I think as a business decision, it wasn't a bad move.
No, I mean, he all the eyes on him. Then
got a fuck ton of attention. I mean, like I read through the comments. I was scrolling through the comments. There's thousands, probably tens of thousands of comments saying I didn't even know who MGK was until this. You know what I mean?
I didn't.
Yeah. So I mean, he got a lot of hate, but he also made a fuck ton of new fans, and you know what I mean? And it's the cool thing to hate on Eminem right now too. So I think that he, from a business perspective, probably was a really smart move. He's dating Megan Fox. He wasn't dating Megan Fox before. I don't know who he was dating before, but it was no one anyone's probably heard of. I know he was like had the Halsey little fling, but like he's turned into like this figure that I see all the time now. I never saw MGK all the time, and now I see him all the time in like these industry things, these red carpet things. You know what I mean? I never saw him in that shit before. And now he's at all these events and all these things. So I definitely think as a business decision, that's what he intended to do. I don't think he ever intended to truly trump Eminem on a music level. I think he just wanted the attention, shock value, and he got it.
Yeah, it definitely worked out in his favor for the shock value, because, you know, he put out his thing and then people were watching his page every minute of every day. People were watching Eminem's page for a response on it and everything. And it's just like, it definitely brought a lot of attention back to hip hop at that moment.
Yeah. And there was theories. I've heard theories that like it was all planned. The Eminem was even in on it. You know what I mean? Like for both of their sakes to kind of just pump some buzz back into their careers. Not that Eminem necessarily needed that, but like and I don't know. That's again a theory. It's a conspiracy theory, but I've heard, I've read things that's a possibility, and I wouldn't be surprised, bro. These fucking high up elite people, they be having dinner with each other. They be fucking strategizing. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past them. Like, hey, let's get all the attention on us for a fucking couple weeks. Let's just have this beef. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, because it's weird. Because sometimes this shit comes like out of nowhere and like blindsides everybody, and it's just like,
well, they're signed to the same. They're signed to the same label. I mean, they're both under Interscope, so it's like, it's the beefs are more believable for me when they're between two labels. But like MGK and Eminem are under the same label. Like, I don't know. I could easily see that being a publicity stunt. Who knows? So much shit is staged nowadays. I don't even know what the fuck's real anymore. I don't know what's an advertisement and what's not, and what is content that's genuine and what's content just designed to emotionally trigger me in certain ways. to influence me in one direction or another. Like, who the fuck knows?
You're not
Everything's
wrong.
fucking crazy.
It's the equivalent of Madonna doing Truth or Dare. Did it solidify her as an artist? No. Did she get attention? Tons.
Yeah, but like Madonna is literally in stone legendary now. I mean, I mean, she's undisputably in that stratosphere. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Dogs in her box.
Truth or Dare. I don't remember this Madonna scandal or what the fuck this even is, but I do know that Madonna's like a timeless name. You can't hear the name Madonna and think of anyone else other than Madonna.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely, she's made a name for herself. She's an icon. Like you said, someone brings up Madonna, you don't, who's that? You know who Madonna is.
Yeah.
So if anybody else in the chat has any last questions for Caleb, go ahead and put them in now. I know he did say that he had something that he was going to do after this interview, so we don't want to keep him all night. So if you have any last minute questions, go ahead and throw them in the chat.
She did a bunch of sex stuff.
So did Bill Clinton.
Yeah, we can actually make a really long list on this one.
I was going to say there's a lot of famous people that have been caught in sex scandals. And most of it is just blown way out of proportion. And just shocked people. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that's what sells. Negativity and the shock value sells.
Yep.
The positivity and the good news and shit doesn't sell. That's why you don't flip on, you know, the news and, oh, well, this family used to be, you know, struggling, but the dad got a raise and now he's able to help out and he's donating to local food banks. No, now you can't turn on a news site without seeing 30 minutes of the BS going on between Russia and Ukraine.
Right. Yeah, negative definitely sells, which sucks because I don't like negative. But it's amazing how many people love negative. People like negative.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
their comfort zone. People, yeah. You ever tried to like get someone to see the bright side of something and they refuse? And they're like, yeah, you're right, but like all this is going on, and you're like, I know, but look at it like this, and they're like, yeah, I know, but look at this, you know, and they just like literally will refuse to see any silver linings or anything. Like I can't stand people like that, but so many people are like that. It's wild.
Yeah, and
they can't get over it in their head. They can't get over that something bad's going on, so they're not going to look at anything else. It's pretty nuts.
And the Madonna and Britney lip lock on TV. Oh yeah, that was purely shock value.
Yeah.
People had stopped talking about Britney Spears at that point. And then people were starting to talk about Britney Spears after that happened.
Again, I wouldn't be surprised if all these were just well thought out, planned stunts. Yeah, I mean, these people are smart. We forget that like celebrities are smart. They wouldn't be where they're at if they weren't. They might have a stupid persona. They might have a airhead persona, but even the stupidest people are, if they're a celebrity, they're not stupid. They're fucking smart for the most part. I mean, but like whether you think they're smart or not doesn't matter. They're in the position they're in because they played their moves correctly. And in order to do that, you have to have some level of intelligence to be able to pull that shit off. So 90% of what these people do are planned out. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised. Like I bet you, what was it, Logan Paul or Jake Paul? I don't know because they both look the same. But the gotcha hat thing, remember that?
I think that was Logan.
Logan. Dude, there's no way he did not plan that out either the week before, the day before, or that morning. That was premeditated. That wasn't a last second thought where he's like, I'm going to take his hat. I think he was like, if he's wearing a hat, I'm going to take it. And I'm going to say, gotcha hat. It's going to be awesome. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. It's like these moments in history, especially these captivating moments from celebrities or whatever, they're usually planned out. There's no way.
Yeah, I definitely I agree with you there because
They know how to garner attention and turn that attention into money, so they're going to do it.
well, when you're in a business like that, to where the more eyes on you, the more money you make. Obviously, you want the most eyes on you as you possibly can,
Yeah,
and like that's why certain artists do what they do. Like
yeah,
Tom McDonald is a very successful artist. You cannot deny him that. A lot of people don't like his music because it's political and he talks about his beliefs on certain political aspects, but you can't fault the man for doing it. He knows it's going to sell
yeah.
if it's
Well,
controversial.
I think Tom McDonald wins because he just puts out so much content and so consistently. It's like clockwork. It's like every fucking other week it's a music video, especially for a while there. For like the last 2 years, it was like every other week a new music video on the dot, and you knew it was coming because it always came. A lot of artists, they'll put out 5, 6, 7 music videos, and then they'll take a 6-month break or an 8-month break or a year-long break, and then they'll put out another batch of videos and content, and then they'll take another 6-month break. But I think he really found success because he just didn't fucking stop for so long. It was just all gas, no brakes for such a long period of time where it was impossible to ignore him. It was the shock value. It was definitely the shock value, but even more than that, I don't think he would have been as successful, even with the shock value stuff, if he wasn't continuously putting shit in front of people's faces every week or every other week.
Oh,
No,
definitely.
artists just don't do that. I can't actually think of another artist that has done that. That has put out that many videos that consistently. I mean, who do you got?
Well, Elijah Kyle, but he doesn't. A lot of his are audios, but like this dude legit drops a video every single week. Last year, he dropped like 6 albums, and I was like, "How the fuck do you drop 6 albums in a year, bro?" And
Yeah,
he's like, I've just got shit stockpiled. Like it's already been recorded, and it's just sitting in the vault. It's ready to go at any time." And I
yep.
was just like, "Damn."
It's the way to do it.
I want to thank Caleb for doing this interview because I may have not heard of you any other way.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for listening to me yap.
Definitely
Much
go check
love.
out some of his music, Cherokee. He's got some deep, meaningful messages in his music, and he's got different styles. So we only checked out one of the songs on here. Go check out a couple of the other ones, see the different styles and the different energies that he brings.
Cherokee, do it.
He's not going to say please. He's just going to be like,
No, just do it. Just do it. It's okay. It's okay to do it. It's all right.
Staying in the public eye, it suits him to express himself, and it makes money. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
The Paul brothers, they're not stupid either. They know how to make money. They know doing the stupid bullshit and the stunts and the gimmicks and the pranks and shit that they pull. They know it's going to sell. That's why they went from being 16-year-old snot-nosed, having nothing kids to 24, 25-year-old people that are living in, 16, 17, $25 million mansions.
None of these people are stupid. Someone told me, and it resonated so well, smart people know how to act stupid. And that's so true. Like, they want you to think they're stupid. It disarms them, or it disarms the people that are perceiving them. Like, if you think that this person's just stupid, you know what I mean? Then you're actually the one getting played. Like, these people are fucking smart. These people that are making millions of dollars off of being personalities, even if their personality is stupid, like Snooki or something, these people are still fucking smart. They're smart enough. Either they're smart or they're smart enough to have smart people in their corner. If they're not smart, they're at least smart enough to have a team of smart people. One or the other. But I would be willing to say that most of them are just smart themselves. You would be surprised how many people have college degrees. It's fucking crazy. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? Like the most ignorant fucking people you know that portray themselves like 2 Chainz. When I first heard 2 Chainz, I thought he was so ignorant. His music is I'm just like, what the fuck are you saying, bro? And then I dug into this guy, and he's like got a master's degree. Fucking, he's just playing the stupid card because he knows what sells. It's not them that's stupid. It's everybody that's stupid. And they buy stupid. That's why the people are pretending to be stupid.
Perfect example is that, as we've already talked about it, Tekashi.
Yeah.
Like everybody looks at him like he was stupid, but what did this man do a week out of prison? He fucking broke records, broke YouTube, and it blew right back up.
Yeah, well, and you also got to keep into consideration, like, dude, the Takashi's 23 years old. The fucker is so young. It's crazy too. Like a lot of these people were really young when they started too. I mean, like Kanye fucking was already making waves at 19 years old. Like these people that are public figures and making millions of dollars that are, in their 30s, a lot of them started when they were 18, 17 and already had $1 million. They already had $1 million in their bank account by the time they were 20. You know what I mean? It's yeah. These guys were smart from the beginning for sure.
Oh, definitely. I agree 100%. There's definitely, if you can find something to motivate you, there's definitely a lane for everybody and everything out there. Like, there's so many different people out there that if you wanted to make a channel about talking about random shit, you're gonna find people that follow your channel because it fits their niche.
Yeah.
So, but Caleb, I know you said that you wanted to get to the gym after this, so I don't want to keep you all night. So
yeah, bro, no worries. Hey, thank you so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate the opportunity to come and speak and talk with you. It was really good to meet you as well. I'd love to stay in contact with you. I'll one last thing before I take off here. I would just like to plug. I have an album that's dropping in like the next 5 days. It'll be available on every streaming platform. My website, calebwildcardmusic.com, along with a bunch of other cool stuff. I don't know if anyone knows the artist Echo, but we have a video dropping as well in the next couple of days. I'm really trying to blow that up as well. So definitely keep if you liked what you heard today, subscribe, follow what I'm doing. Find me on Facebook, Caleb Matson, Matson. It's my last name. Yeah, dude, shoot me an ad. Say that you saw me on here and let's chop it up.
All right, yeah, definitely. His link to his YouTube channel is down in the description box for anybody that's not already subscribed. Make sure you go follow him. Even on Facebook, if you just type in Caleb Wildcard, it brings up his page. You've seen him here, so you'll be able to see him in his profile picture. Follow him there. Just follow him everywhere you can. Show that Hatter family love and show how we support artists that we rock with and artists that we support on the channel. I know it would mean a lot to me. I know it means a lot to Caleb as well.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much for having me on. Again, let's keep in contact. And yeah, can't wait to talk with you again.
All right, man. Everybody in the chat, this is going to be the Mad Hatter signing out. So until next time, Hatters, take care of yourselves and each other. As always, we will see you in the next video.
Later, y'all.